Ho, 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 Merry Christmas and all that stuff. Welcome to the Cruise Amigos Christmas show, which is going to last 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Because I feel like crap.
Okay. I thought you were going to be.
John.
I am great. Merry Christmas, Chili. And it's great that we're just going to be on for a couple minutes so folks see that there was a show today. I know that you're health-wise, you just feel really exhausted and terrible, and it's hard for you to talk. So, hey, 30 and wake up. Yes, Chili needs to rest. So we're really doing just a little short Merry Christmas, everybody. It's, the year 20. What? Wait
a minute. You got to talk about reindeer poop. That's what you were talking about when we went live. You were talking about reindeer poop. And I said, John, get your poop ready.
Well, okay, but reindeer poop, at least in the Midwest of the continent, is a Christmas staple. One of those things where, like, people make lefse, or they make kroomkaka, or they make all the different candies and things. For 50 years or so, reindeer poop has always been one of the things, and it's basically chocolate. Wait. What
the hell is kroomkaka?
Serious? Well, I've
never heard of these things.
These are
I don't know what left is.
Well, kroomkaka is a you would think of it as, when they make a waffle cone and they roll it up to put ice cream in it.
Yeah.
Well, kroomkaka is kind of like that. It's actually the same recipe of the material, the batter, only it's done on a kroomkaka iron, which is about this big around, and it's got like a tortilla flattener kind of a thing. And so you put this in and you crank it down and it spreads it out to about this big around. And while it's hot, it's flexible. So then when you take it out, you roll it up on a spindle so that it's kind of pointy a little bit, just like a waffle cone would be. And then when it dries or cools off, of course, it's firm, and you can put 50 of them on a plate and it looks like you got a big pile of them, but it's only like 6 ounces of batter. So it's one of those, stretches. But it's a Norwegian, Scandinavian Christmas delicacy, and just
right,
Krumkaka.
Now that I know what
kroomkakas
are.
Yes.
Go back to your reindeer poop. I'll try not to interrupt you this time. Hey, Kenneth.
Reindeer poop is it's peanuts, and then sometimes other things like maybe short little pretzels or any kind of carbohydrate that's basically just dipped in chocolate and then made into little circles about as big as an Oreo. And again, just one more thing. Do you know what a Spritz cookie is then?
No.
Oh God, man. I should make you some. I will make you and send you some Spritz cookies. Spritz cookies, actually, again, Scandinavian. A similar thing. If you go to the grocery stores, and there's always those tins of Danish butter cookies from they're always around, and there's like many different little kinds of shapes inside. Yes. That's a Danish butter cookie. And a Spritz cookie is actually much like that, except it's not near as hard because it hasn't been transported across the ocean and everything. It's a softer, but it's like that white vanilla flavored or almond flavored little cookie. And Spritz, and you make it with a press. I guess we're going to have to do a live show, and I'm going to be making Spritz cookies one day. And I have an electric one now, so I can go, and you make 100. When you make them, you make 500 of them. But the reason that they're made, the real reason that this was invented and is a way, is the fact that, particularly Denmark and those little countries that are around Denmark, even up into the Scandinavian countries, have a lot of butter. I mean, they make way more butter than they can use. But I don't know if you know, but America does not allow for the import of butter. To support our dairy farmers for 100 years, you can't import.
You can only use American butter.
You can only, the farmers in America have to provide the milk and the butter. That's been a law and a rule for 100 years or more. But there's no law against importing cookies. So they literally figured out how much butter can we actually add to the flour to get it. And this is serious. I mean, this is not a joke. This is why all over the United States and mostly at Christmas time, but whatever, there's those tins. Some of them are really big. The Costco ones are this deep and this big around, and they probably got 400 cookies in them. And the reason is that Denmark and the other little countries there have just a big surplus of butter. They can't export it as butter, but they can export it as a cookie. And so they're really exporting it when you buy those, you're buying them at cost. I mean, there's no profit in them. It's just a way to, keep their farmers milking cows because they need the other elements of the milk. They need the milk itself. They just don't need the butter coming out of the milk. So this is why a lot of things are available at really low prices. Now, the other thing is happening, you see, in Mexico, and this is really sadness. The price of corn has doubled or tripled over the last few years. And you might think, well, what? We have corn 5 times a year or once a week even or whatever. Why is that an important thing? But in Mexico, the standard diet of the people is tortillas, and they're either made from corn or flour, mostly from corn.
Yeah.
And so their main meal, their main source of food has tripled in cost. And this is sacrilege. I mean, this is terrible. I don't want to get on a rant here today. It's Christmas and everything, but just as you're thinking of your Christmas things and how many things we have to share and enjoy, know that, I don't know. Did you see the Ukrainian president on the news yesterday?
Yes, I did. I certainly did.
And man, I mean, I'm mostly really upset with every free first class democracy in America, that they're letting this little guy play it out on it. It's really sad. But anyway, so that's some of the food. We'll do that. I'll make Spritz cookies one time. You just got to kick me in the butt and say, okay, we're going to have our Spritz cookie thing, and I'll get a couple pounds of butter and a handful of flour, and we'll make.
I'm 3/4 drunk on cough medicine
right now
and drugs.
Yeah.
And you think I'm going to remember Spritz cookies?
I will, because
I'm having trouble remembering.
Hi, Cindy Lee. I will, because I'm telling you to remember it, then I remember it. It's really funny when that happens for me. If I tell you. But anyway, we will make Spritz cookies. We will have a post New Year's, festival of Christmassy stuff. And I will send some, I'll make them and send them to you first. So it'll be one of those things where, here, Chili, here's a cookie. And then you can reach over. Other way. You can reach over and grab the cookie, you see, and then. Anyway, I just want to say, I know you're not feeling well. You're on cough medicine. Probably you need a sample of my goods a little later, but let's say heartfelt Merry Christmas to everybody that watches our shows, and particularly Chili's awesome show every day. And we just wish everybody all the best in the coming year. And we're just thankful. A couple of years ago, we thought Chili was going to have a final show here one day. Yep. And here you are, meaner and more cantankerous than you ever were. So
that's right. And Kevin just said that you're fascinating. No, Kevin, he's not fascinating. He's full of you know what? He's got more damn absolutely ridiculous pea-brain knowledge that has absolutely no benefit in the free world. And he shares it all the time.
Here's the thing you got to ask yourself, Chili. If the worst happens and all of a sudden the power goes out and there's no more electricity and rural water is not bringing water to your house, who do you want to have in your house to survive the winter?
Well, you'd be entertaining.
Well, but I also know how to do all of those other things. And that's why, I here on the farm, although rural water is at the road and my neighbors and cousins and all have it, I have an actual 180-foot deep well that you can still put a handle on it and you can crank it if you want to.
Yeah.
I
got one of those too.
Yeah, because I'm telling you that, what's going to be more valuable and I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. But if the worst of the worst should happen, even for a short period of time, because we're watching it happen in the Ukraine, which was certainly a wonderful high-end 5-star tourist hotel, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But we'll always have water. We got enough trees here for a couple of years of winter. And there's enough food in the pantry and stuff. It won't be necessarily the best food, but there is nourishment that would certainly get us through a season. So Cindy's asking, when are you cruising again, Chili?
January 20. I'll leave here on January 26th.
So
and
you're
get on the cruise on the 29th.
You're stuck at home for a month and 4 days yet.
Oh, it'll be awful.
Oh, we definitely got to do some. We got to get you some cookies and krum kaka. We got to do some things. It'll be great. Unless you have something else, we want to thank everybody for listening. God's blessings to you in the coming year, and Merry Christmas. And
Merry Christmas to Martin, wherever the hell he is.
Martin.
Once again, Martin's not with us.
Yeah, his time is saying he's going to be on in an hour.
How he was stuck under a train.
That wasn't
3 weeks ago.
It wasn't under. He was in the train. He was in the train.
Stuck in a train.
Yeah, it could have been between cars, but he was in the train, not under the train.
Well, whatever. Yeah. With that gin he drinks, he could have been under the train. Honest.
Say goodbye, Chili.
Goodbye, Chili. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to say goodbye. This was our short little Christmas hurrah, and Chili's got to get some rest and sleep. You're on tomorrow, though. You doing a show tomorrow if you're alive?
I'm doing a show tomorrow.
We'll check in with him and see how he is then.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Merry Christmas. Y'all.